On defense, number 29.
Welcome to the Steel City. Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC taking on Indy 11 this evening in the Eastern Conference. Two of the top teams in the East, and the Eastern Conference right now is super packed, so 3 points are going to be tantamount. Pittsburgh last time out got a big-time win in league play versus Miami FC, 2-0, Ross.
Yeah, playing well of late. 3 wins in their last 4 coming into tonight. This was a 2-0 win over Miami a couple of weeks ago. They outshot Miami 17-5, but it took the Riverhounds nearly 50 minutes to score the goal. It really opened things up for the defending champs. Albert Dikwa back post head. Then he gets the assist here on the late Charles Arl goal. Miami actually had more final third entries in this one, but the Pittsburgh retooled backline really held strong for the shutout win.
2 goal contributions for Albert Dikwa, and that's why he's tonight's player to watch, which is sponsored by Modelo, celebrating those with a fighting spirit like Albert Dikwa, whose determination and skill truly embody the mark of a fighter. Dikwa, a longtime member of this side, coming back after 2 seasons with Rhode Island, and he's back with a vengeance.
He is. 28-year-old Cameroonian on fine form so far in this season. 6th league goal, a number that puts him tied for 4th in the championship.
Indy 11 is coming on the road and trying to continue their success up to this point in the year. They currently are unbeaten in their last 5 matches, and they got a win in their last league match versus Rhode Island.
They did, and then they took care of Madison last weekend in the Cup to barely stay alive in that competition. It wasn't an easy win for Indy against Rhode Island. No, they're outshot 20-8, but that's not untypical for a team that averages a league low 39% possession.
Bruno Rendon had the game-winning goal. He's tonight's player to watch for Indy 11. Rendon has been on a heater in his last couple of league matches. He scored in each of his last 3 league appearances. You have to find him if you're Pittsburgh.
You do. The big Cuban has 8 goals in all competitions, leading from the right side of midfield. He really stands out with his physical tools and has shown this season he can finish with the best in the league.
Coach Rob Vincent for Pittsburgh says that this match is kind of a rivalry. It could get heated, so make sure you are tuned in. The matchup between Pittsburgh and Indy 11 is next.
At FNB, we're not just changing the skyline of Pittsburgh, we're reshaping the landscape of banking. Building a new headquarters in the Hill District, making a $1 billion impact in our region. Fueling growth, revitalizing neighborhoods, creating opportunities. Because when our city rises, we all rise. Your bank might do business here. We're building a brighter future here.
Can your bank do that?
Welcome to FNB. Let's get started.
Edge of the area, Walty into the middle, Amon, 3-0. It's as simple as that. Well, then an early chance is finished by Albert Dikwa. Pittsburgh has not seen a night like this.
Our blueprint at 84 Lumber started with the simplest of ideas. Hire good people, provide excellent service, add value. From that foundation, we created our structure and shaped an industry. We build projects, homes, dreams, neighborhoods. We build careers, lives, futures. We build success. 84 Lumber.
Moments away from kickoff between Pittsburgh and Indy. James Sadnot here with you. Ross Davenport with me. Time for the starting lineups. Brewed for victory, presented by IC Light. We start with Pittsburgh. 3 changes, Ross.
Yeah, from their penalty kick loss to Charleston in the Prince Tars USL Open Cup last week. Back comes Albert Dikwa. Max Vieira gets his 3rd league start in for the 21-year-old rookie out of Georgetown. Out, not in the 18th tonight. Sam Bassett, he picked up a heel injury in that game against Charleston last weekend.
Elliot Goldthorpe and Charles Alt going to be huge for Pittsburgh tonight. Now, the 11 for Indy 11, presented by IC Light, brewed for victory. 3 changes as well.
Yeah, the big one here is the loss of captain Aiden Quinn at left back. He misses his first start of the season. Looked like a right leg injury against Madison in the Cup last weekend. Back in comes Indiana native Eric Dick, the former Pittsburgh Riverhounds player, and Alejandro Metrano, former Miami FC man, gets his first start in place of Quinn.
This matchup is also going to have two great goalkeepers, right? Nico Campuzano, who played prior with Monterey Bay, now with Pittsburgh, and then Eric Dick returns to where he won the USL Championship Finals MVP, a part of what was a great finish for Pittsburgh. And this Indy 11 side, they're a team that they plays their style. You talk with Coach Rob Benson about it. Everybody knows how they're going to play, but it's difficult to stop it.
It is, yeah. Don't expect them to have much of the ball out. Or we mentioned in the open, only 39% possession this season, the lowest in USL Championship. But they've obviously coming in with a few wins in a row. This is going to be the real test on the road here against the defending champs. And you expect this man coming back to where he won the title last season will play a big part if Indy is going to take the 3 points home.
Pittsburgh last year, they didn't give up a goal in their last 6 matches in full, and did not give up a goal in the playoffs at all. It was really crazy when you think about it. Now, Nico Campuzano, those are the shoes that he has to fill of Eric Dick, and he has played pretty well recently as a team. Pittsburgh has 3 clean sheets in their last 4, and Coach Rob Benson said this team is getting back to their defensive ways.
Yeah, they've had some defensive injuries along that back line. Beto Idrak injured, as well as Guy Vactor. Some rookies have stepped up big time in these last few matches. We'll talk about them as the game goes on. As you see, they're not wearing the Resolute kits they were supposed to wear tonight because they were deemed too close by the officials to the Indy kit. Unfortunate. You can still go buy those on the Pittsburgh website. Pretty cool looking red and blue hoops.
There is the all-time leading goal scorer for Indy 11, Jack Blake, preparing to get things started. Nabil Ben Salah is our referee. He blows his whistle, and we begin from FNB Stadium. Pittsburgh Riverhounds, Indy 11 in action in the Eastern Conference. James Haddon here with you, Ross Davenport with me, Elliot Goldthorpe with a quick touch, but now the ball is on its way into the Indy 11 attacking half. And Ross, expectations for both sides here early in the match.
Yeah, I think the key for Indy is they can get that first goal and really force Pittsburgh to come out of their shell a little bit. Pittsburgh can score the first goal. Listen, the first goal is always important, especially in USL play, where transition opportunities are so critical.
Both of these teams are so good defensively. Only 4 teams have allowed less goals than Indy 11 coming into this match. And for Pittsburgh, they've allowed just 13 goals overall. And after struggling early in the year defensively, Coach Vincent spoke very highly of his team and what they've been able to do, just hunkering down. And he said it started after that Indy 11 match. And although they lost to Birmingham Legion, they found something defensively since then.
You obviously know normally for their 3-back, 5-back system, whatever you want to call it, but the injuries to Idrak as well as Guy Vactor have really forced rookies to jump in here. And Lasse Kelp, rookie, and Owen McCoy as well, stepped up superbly. And they'll be tested tonight by the likes of Bruno Rendon and Edward Chisholm.
Back in by Mertz, now nodded forward. So Craig back to Dick, and boos from the home crowd.
So we're used to that from another town in Pennsylvania, perhaps, but not from Pittsburgh. But no love lost here for the man that took them to the title last season.
Yeah, won the championship, getting booed as you return. Now, the injury report presented by AHN, the official medical provider of the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. You see Bassett not available tonight. That's the big one, as he had a knock in training, a heel contusion. That's why he's out. But Coach Vincent saying that Sample, Vactor, and Idrak all have been out for large portions of the season.
They have, and Anthony Herbert was on international duty for the last couple of games for Indy and then hurt his hamstring against Russia earlier this week, so he may miss a bit of time as well. Mikael Rashid has stepped up well in his absence, obviously next to the legend that is Paco Craig at the back there.
It's Indy 11. Fires this ball forward, nodded along. Nice little touch into the area. That's good defending as it's out for a throw. Loic Massanvi quickly puts it back into play. Vetrano into the area. Now Pittsburgh trying to clear. Albert Dequa overruns it. Indy 11 trying to keep possession.
Paco Craig got a little lucky there. Ball got stuck under his feet for a half a second. If Dequa had been able to poke that one through, he was certainly going to beat Craig for pace. Fullback's going to be key in this game tonight. You can see how high Perrin Barnes is already starting. Almost playing a wingback spot there. Max Vieira can play wingback, so perhaps Pittsburgh is going back to this back three tonight.
Coach Benson talked about tactically how moving to a four-back and adding an extra attacker into the 11, how it's helped them not only score more goals, but just be more dynamic. And then once they've scored those goals, that's allowed them to kind of sit and play the defensive style that they like. Barnes, Griffin, and now Souza around to Goldthorpe. He has been great recently for Pittsburgh. Real godsend for this 11. Pumps the ball into the area, nodded away initially. Now a clearance for Indy 11.
This is where they like to get running. This is where they're most dangerous. Keep an eye on Rendon. Here he is now.
Blake over the top towards Rendon. Working hard against Lassa Kelp.
Lassa Kelp, who found himself being sent off last week in the USL Cup, but red cards do not carry over to league competition unless they're of the violent conduct variety. So he just received 2 yellows in that game, so able to play tonight at left back, where he's not a natural left back. Coach Vincent was saying he's more of a centre back, but he's adapted beautifully out there on the left. Now playing left centre back more tonight.
Played all over the field. Now it's time for Building a Win, presented by 84 Lumber for both Pittsburgh and Indy 11.
As Pittsburgh, they had nearly 66% possession in their last meeting back in April, 1-1 that result. And they only had 78 final third entries to Indy's 77. And it took them until the 93rd minute to find a very questionable equalizer. So they need to make that possession count a little more tonight. As for Indy, it's just about coping without Aidan Quinn. He only missed 2 starts last season. Indy lost them both. Got injured first third of that game last weekend. But Vetrano stepped up nicely, and Coach McCauley said he had a solid preseason and has the opportunity to really put his foot on the pedal here and take the spot, not from Quinn, but show he can be the capable backup at the left back spot as Jack Blake goes down.
Danny Griffin commits the foul. This is a Narcissi Winery replay. You see there, just kind of chopping at Blake.
He claims he got the ball, but went through him a little bit, almost landed on him.
7th minute of action, no score between Pittsburgh and Indy 11. These two teams met earlier this year. As Ross just said, played to a 1-1 draw. A late equalizer from Elliot Goldthorpe secured a point on the road for Pittsburgh after Jack Blake scored from the spot.
Yeah, it was controversial because Eric Dick was landed upon by a Pittsburgh player. Referee didn't see it, and that allowed the ball to be finished with no goalkeeper in between the pipes.
Lindley lofts this into the area, headed high, and then Campazano spry as he sprawled out to snag it before it rolled over the line.
I think it might have been Paco Craig got his head on this one. Lofted ball to the far post, nodded back across by Rendon. Well, that may have been Josh O'Brien. Got enough pace on it to really, as you mentioned, James, a good save from Campazano. He had to move quickly.
Campazano led the league last year with Monterey Bay with 84 saves. And so when you lose a top-notch player like Dick to the opposition, you have to find a way to fill the void. And Campazano has done that recently, especially for this side in Pittsburgh. Coach Vincent mentioning that defensively they were giving up almost an average of 2 goals a game earlier in the year. Didn't have very many clean sheets. And so they needed to switch something tactically. And since they've made those changes, they've been a much better squad.
Obviously, always very tough here at home over the years. Just the one loss here in league play this season. As for Indy, they are not a very good away team. One win in their last 14 going back to last season. This is their first away league game since May 2nd. They've been home for quite a bit.
Souza played prior with New England Revolution 2. Now Mertz surveying. Griffin.
Mertz, the real heart of this midfield. He's going to look for that free roll right here and look to distribute. Indy knows that. They're going to keep a very close eye on him. Force them to try going wide here. If it runs in the channels, it's a bit of a hopeless ball there.
And this is where you discuss, Ross, with Coach Vincent about how Indy is not going to give up very much. They're going to sit back. They're going to be compact defensively, and it's just breaking them down. Coach Vincent said that as well. Knowing his team was going to have a lot of the ball, they just had to make good decisions and find those avenues to attack.
Yeah, they can be a frustrating team to play against. They really should have more points this season. They've given up late goals in both the league and cup play. It's been a frustrating season, but the last few games they've got things together. They've had an easy bit of the schedule, though. They've played some teams below the playoff line. This is really where things step up, and it's a 3-game week for Indy. They also play on Wednesday as well.
Blake, big ball, looking for Bruno Rendon. 6 goals on the season, 8 goals in all competitions. He's the man for Indy 11. This ball slipped in, and that is a foul on the edge of the area and a yellow card coming out. So Edward Chiza was on his way through, and that was a sure foul, but a necessary one when you think about it.
It was very close to being a penalty, maybe a couple of feet. Perrin Barnes pinching in to help out from his wing-back spot, potentially costing his team dearly here. It's very close, though. It's going to be difficult to get this ball over the wall and down. Lucky not to be taking it from a few yards closer from the spot.
We have a yellow card against Pittsburgh. Number 3.
Cliche towing the line is what comes to mind as Barnes just made the tackle on the edge of the area.
I wonder if Sean McCauley is making the point there that the way Chiza was running, there was a potential goal-scoring opportunity. Certainly had some help back, did Perrin Barnes, but it was a clumsy challenge.
Sousa was right there, and so it would have been a good chance on goal. And now this is a set piece from just outside the 18. That is Blake, the all-time leading goal scorer for Indy 11. 28 goals in all competitions. Also Cam Lindley, the Carmel, Indiana native. Blake doesn't beat the wall. It'll roll out for an Indy 11 corner.
Yeah, that's really one of your only options from that close. Just hope the wall jumps high enough you can sneak it underneath. Hope the goalie doesn't get a good view of it. Rendon was there, but just didn't quite anticipate how hard that ball was going to hit off the wall. But a corner now here for the visitors.
Indy 11 in the 12th minute. Nodded along. Campazano came out. Rendon back towards the 6. And a whistle. The possession will come to Pittsburgh. Turn to the CBS Sports Network on Saturday, June 20th for a thrilling USL Championship Western Conference showdown. Sparks will fly when Las Vegas Lights FC take on an electric Orange County SC at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Catch all the action on the CBS Sports Network June 20th.
And that wasn't Nico Campazano's finest moment. Watch out. All sorts of trouble here again. Campazano was almost caught in no man's land. He looked a little like the Canada goalie the other night on that corner. It came out towards that front post, didn't get it. Got lucky though.
Chiza has been a little bit of a thorn in the side of Pittsburgh here early on. Barnes obviously committing the foul, which turned into the set piece moments ago. Masanvi gets a piece of that. This will be a throw for Pittsburgh. All-time series, Pittsburgh has 7 wins. Indy 11 has 6 and 5 draws. The last match, a 1-1 draw. So a super tight rivalry between these two sides. Pittsburgh here at home looking to change that. Dikwa at the back post.
Good floated ball to the back post. I'm not sure from the angle we had if Dikwa was trying to knock this one back across. We'll have a crack at goal. We'll certainly get a look here on the replay. Yeah, he just kind of got caught in between the two. Ended up just glancing off his head and out for a goal kick. You mentioned, James, Pittsburgh's Indy's had the edge in this matchup of late. Pittsburgh's only won 1 of the last 7 meetings, which is a stunning stat considering how competitive they've been over the last few seasons.
Dikwa is the target. This ball does run out. Eric Dick was in a bit of no man's land as he was close to his former teammate.
Both keepers with a bit of questionable decision-making here early.
Watch the USL on ESPN2 June 20th as Powerhouse Championship clubs matchup. Detroit City FC and Louisville City FC face off in a Prince Towers USL Cup battle for the playoffs. Saturday, June 20th at 5 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2.
Yeah, most teams with 1 game left in the Prince Towers USL Cup competition. Some with 2. Indy 11 still has a shot. They could get to 8 points, but they need some help. Blue City has somehow managed to win both of their cup matches despite their struggles in the league. As for Indy, as I mentioned, they could get to 8 points, excuse me. As for Pittsburgh, they're currently on 5. They'll resume cup play in a few weeks.
Perrin Barnes was a little forward, could not control it. Rendon thought he got hit in the face. He was down for a moment. There is a huge collision. Advantage played by Nabil Ben Salah. And there is the tension that Coach Vincent was telling us about, that things could start to get heated between these two sides. And we're starting to see some more aggressive play after a quarter of an hour. Goldthorpe. Barnes has his cross blocked away. Throw in coming.
Yeah, the way Indy packs bodies behind the ball, there's never much space for players to operate. There's always going to be a body there to challenge you, put some contact, knock you off the ball.
Barnes launches this into the area, flicked along. Chiesa gets ahead to it, and then the collision in the box means that Indianapolis will have possession. Looking for the perfect Father's Day plan? Bring Dad to F&B Stadium next Sunday, June 21st, as the Pittsburgh Riveters host Cleveland Forest at 6 p.m. It's Girl Dad Night, celebrating dads, daughters, and a great night of soccer in Pittsburgh. And fans can enjoy a $1 icy light during the match. Make Father's Day a Riveters night, Sunday, June 21st at 6 p.m. Tickets are available now at riveterssc.com/tickets.
What a deal that is. The Riveters are off to a great start in the W League, beating teams left and right, 5-0, 4-0, 3-0.
Riveters night, the place to beat on Father's Day. Dikwa trying to hold things up. Loic Masanvi, a couple of smooth moves in possession. Minnesota United really liked Masanvi as he was growing as a player in their second team space. Made a couple of first team appearances over the past 2 seasons as Mitrano commits the foul of Elliot Goldthorpe.
You can see when Masanvi gets on the ball and has space, he's got a little something special. Taking players on, got very, very quick feet.
This is Goldthorpe. Now Mertz, as you said, the metronome for this team. Perrin Barnes.
And we see Goldthorpe operating on that right channel, but he'll drift in as well. Get involved centrally. May see him even pop up on the left as well on occasion.
This is the next phase for Pittsburgh. Coach Rob Vincent saying he wants his team to be better in imposing their will on their opponent. Dequa trying to slice in. This ball will drop kindly for Pittsburgh still. Souza. Mertz.
It's a little bit static from Pittsburgh. We need to see some better runs off the ball. Make those diagonal runs into the space. Don't wait for the pass.
And now off the turnover, Indy 11 trying to take advantage. This is Rendon. Loft this ball towards Blake. He hits it first time, and it whizzes over the crossbar.
Every match, every country, we have a FIFA
And that's
World
how
Cup
quickly
watch party committee
Indy 11
for you
can
this summer. Each
make you
champion,
pay.
any
And
watch
that man
party
Rendon again. Jack Blake's going to want that one back.
loot for loot.
Fell for him perfectly on the left foot, just couldn't keep it down.
At halftime of the Riverhounds match on July 11th. Admission is free.
20th minute of action. No score between Pittsburgh and Indy 11. As mentioned, Pittsburgh, winners of their last two league matches, both 2-0, both different types of matches as Rendon lowers the shoulder. There'll be a throw-in for Indy 11, but those matches were different. Obviously versus Lou City, Pittsburgh had to suffer a bit. Versus Miami, they did impose their will, and Coach Vincent likes that his team can play multiple.
It's certainly a strength to have, be able to adjust. We saw the move back to the three at the back tonight. I'm sure Sean McCulley wasn't perhaps expecting that. How they've been sticking with the four at the moment. These are the small mental battles you win during the week sometimes.
And how does that maybe benefit Pittsburgh in this match in comparison to others?
It gives them a little more width. Obviously, with Perrin Barnes and Max Vieira out there, we haven't mentioned his name much yet tonight. The youngster on the left, at the left wing back spot. You see how high Matrano is playing. It's almost like Indy is matching them with the wing back system as well. Rendon played wing back plenty during his time in Northern Colorado. Even played right back a ton as well. He's not helping Mac back much though, so it is more of a four at the back, which is Matrano pushing up as much as he can when he can. So second yellow of the night.
That'll go to Cam Lindley as he brought down Charles All. So a chance to serve the ball into the area after this foul.
Yeah, Charles All with some quick feet. That's a silly foul from Lindley. Really didn't need to commit. All was going away from goal. Not really a danger. That's just clumsy from the veteran midfielder. They'll have to be careful now from that defensive midfield spot the rest of the night.
You don't expect that from somebody with more than 120 appearances with Indy 11. He's the all-time leader, more than 15,000 minutes played. And just a mental lapse for Lindley. 22nd minute, Pittsburgh with a set piece. And Robbie Mertz prepares to take it.
Signed a new deal in the offseason to stick around. Surely were other USL Championship teams after his services. He wants to go back-to-back here, does Robbie Mertz.
Local product from right here in Pittsburgh. Mertz pumps this ball in. Eric Dick saw it the entire way. Quickly lets it rip. And Indy on the prowl. This is Lindley. Chizza. And Perrin Barnes gets a touch to that and keeps it from being a corner, but this is Chizza trying to center it. And in the end, Pittsburgh gets the job done defensively.
There's been a couple of warning shots, though, for this Indy team on the transition. They've looked very, very effective, catching Pittsburgh a little unawares that time on the set piece.
Vetrano puts this into the air, and Campazano diving and gliding to grab that.
Just the one shot on target so far.
That was going to be my next question. Pittsburgh has had a good amount of the possession, but it hasn't really come to anything just yet. And how could they change that?
They did give that credit to Packer Craig, that early header.
Elliot Goldthorpe puts this over the top. Looks like all is tracked it down. So maybe something on the horizon for Pittsburgh.
You see in this Indy system, Edward Chiz even asked to help back, even as the lone striker, lone center forward up there. He's going to help come back and keep an eye on Robbie Mertz.
Now back towards Griffin. He'll switch the point of attack, but cannot locate Perrin Barnes. Big challenge, but Owen McCoy gets the job done. This is better. Barnes, Goldthorpe. Eric Dick is there.
It's more like it from Pittsburgh, though. Move that ball around a little quicker. Goldthorpe loves to find those soft spots in the box. The one-time pass, he actually got lucky. He ended up going through the legs of Paco Craig. Eric Dick saw it the whole way, though. Comfortable save for the veteran.
Talked about Eric Dick and winning the Finals MVP and what he was able to do for Pittsburgh last season. A part of one of the best defensive showings down the stretch that you will ever see. Something now for Pittsburgh. This ball comes into the area. It was Goldthorpe who was trying to latch onto it. And again, Pittsburgh seems to have settled in now. This 4th of July, celebrate America's 250th anniversary with the Pittsburgh Riverhounds at F&B Stadium as the Hounds take on Brooklyn FC. Stick around after the match for one of the best views in Pittsburgh for this city's historic Independence Day fireworks show. Soccer, fireworks, and the skyline. It's a 4th of July celebration you won't want to miss. Get your tickets now at riverhounds.com/tickets.
I would expect that game might be close to a sellout soon. The fireworks that evening. What a beautiful setting with this backdrop here at F&B.
And taking on a Brooklyn side that has been struggling over the course of the season. Just the 2 wins. And the hope for Pittsburgh is that they can not only come out victorious tonight, but potentially get a result and then find something versus Brooklyn. Coach Vincent talked about getting to a little bit of a break that this team is going to have and being in position in the Eastern Conference. This ball comes out wide towards Kelp.
Yeah, 7 of the next 9 games at home for Pittsburgh. This is really when they're going to have to make their move up the table if they want to give it a proper shot at defending their title.
Eastern Conference is jam-packed right now. 2nd place in Lou City and 8th place in Hartford only are separated by a total of 6 points. There are 4 teams that both have 5 wins as Barnes heads this back inside to the 6, and Eric Dick is there for it.
Yeah, Miami FC above the playoff line at this point in the season. Good to see. They're only 4 points out of 2nd. Lou City obviously on the struggle bus at the moment. It's allowed a lot of teams to keep within a shooting chance of that for those top 2 seeds. Tampa Bay obviously dominating so far early. No losses for them in their first dozen games, but get that 2nd spot, get a home semifinal.
Tampa Bay coming out of nowhere, 8 wins, no losses, and 4 draws. They're unbeaten and more than 13 competitions, which is a team record. This is Masanvi wiggling, and that is out for a corner.
Yeah, those of us League One fans out there know what Dom Casiato did in Union Omaha. He's just managed to keep it going in a big way with Tampa. Goal difference of +14. The next best is +5. On a roll right now.
Sonby will place it and saunter away. He'll make way for Cam Lindley. 5th season with Indy 11.
It's a little warm in Pittsburgh tonight. See some of the players sweating in the mid-80s, low to mid-80s. Humidity around 45%. Summer's certainly coming to Pittsburgh here. Tough on this turf as well.
Lindley lets it fly, punched away. Blake hits it, and it slides all the way through. It took a touch, and it will be another corner.
It was a risky touch. That ball could have gone absolutely anywhere. There was no need for him to touch it. I didn't see which Pittsburgh player it was. Campuzano got enough on it.
That was Danny Griffin who got the last touch. If anything, it gives Indy 11 this corner. Looped in, bouncing, and saved off the line.
Michael Craig's asking what I did. Campuzano came for it again. Didn't get as much of a contact this time. Actually didn't get any contact on it. He was claiming he was held. Taking another look on the replay here from the close-up camera. Oof, I don't know about that. They look like a pretty 50-50 decision. Campuzano got nowhere near it. Packer Craig went straight up. It seemed like there was enough contact for the free kick, but goalies are a protected species, as we know, James.
And Albert Dikwa, he wouldn't have known anything about that. He was there to save it off the line regardless. And Dikwa does so much for this team. Coach Vincent says we don't necessarily ask a lot of him because of his ability. We want him to be inside and around the 18 as often as possible, but he shows there that he still has the defensive chops. Pittsburgh in possession, 31st minute. Neither side has scored. Elliot Goldthorpe had a shot on goal, quickly puts this into the area towards Dikwa. Now Masanvi for Indy 11. Mertz bargaining for it.
That was a great no call from referee Ben Salat. Mertz knew exactly what he was doing. He just leaned in and fell over, really.
Just a good battle for the ball, won by Indy 11. So Rashid fires this forward. This will roll towards Campuzano. Into the Prinks Tires USL Cup Game Day Kit Sweepstakes for your chance to win a prize pack worth up to $2,000. Scan the QR code on the screen and enter today.
Want to win that giant tire, James? It looks, or is that, I don't think it's life size, but it's almost as big as that shelter, that canopy.
What would you do?
I don't know.
With $2,000?
Don't they? Oh, with 2,000. I thought you were going to ask me what I would do with a tire that size. I go to a World Cup game, James.
Oh, that would be a good idea. Obviously, a couple of players from Miami FC with Curacao, and this is a big year for USL. Multiple players from the league on World Cup teams, and just for a World Cup here in the United States, and especially what the United States was able to do in their opener, 4-1 over Paraguay. A lot of buzz in the US of A. Now Robbie Mertz on the ball. Elliot Goldthorpe calling for it. Doesn't get it as he worked to the top of the 18. Fired towards Eric Dick, and he's there to make the save. Eric Dick had a season high in saves the last time these two teams met. And Indy 11 thought they were going to take all 3 points at home, but the late equalizer from Elliot Goldthorpe changed that. There is a nasty-looking collision. So
that was just clumsy from Retrano. I'm not sure what body part he made contact there. Robbie Mertz is down and holding his head. It almost looked like a forearm or elbow to the head. I don't think there was much malice in it from Metrano, but it was very, very clumsy. Oof, yeah, the hip and elbow got Mertz. And he was a little bit stunned when he tried to get up. Hopefully he's all right.
So Robbie Mertz is back to his feet. You mentioned that he recently signed a new contract. He's a local product, 7th overall season with Pittsburgh. He was a part of the championship team last year for the Riverhounds. And as they look to repeat, these are the matches that you have to have at home against teams that are hovering around you in the standings as we near the middle part of the season.
And we got a quarter of an hour to go. Speaking of World Cup, Brazil and Morocco tied at 1. Keep you abreast of that situation. Those of you that, I'm sure we have some people out there with the dual screens going.
Happy that one of those screens has Pittsburgh versus Indianapolis up, as this match has been a bit of a lull overall, simply because of the way Indianapolis has played. There have been opportunities for Pittsburgh as they've broken down Indy 11. L.A. Goldthorpe had the shot on goal, as well as Aberdikwa near the back post. And obviously, it was Chiza who was fouled towards the top of the 18. If he's a couple steps into the 18, this is a much different type of story potentially.
54% of action in this game in the middle third. That tells the story so far.
Neither side has really grabbed the momentum just yet.
Yeah, that's why that early goal would have been so crucial. Would have forced either, especially Indy, to come out of their shell a little bit. They're quite happy just to sit there and soak it up.
This ball will stay in for Pittsburgh. All Griffin. Charles All tries to pull this back to Vieira. Max Vieira in possession now. Lasse Kelp. And now a reset for Pittsburgh. Can they make the most of the possession that they've had? Now some space opening up. There's contact and a foul. And Indy will have possession.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a frustrating night so far for Pittsburgh. That's how Indianapolis plays. They want to make you frustrated. They want you to push bodies forward and then get caught on the transition. Indy haven't been able to do much in the final third themselves. Only 38% passing accuracy in that final third so far. Had almost half as many passes, though, in that area. Perhaps here's a chance to get going.
This is Blake.
Ooh, that's going to be
Robbie Mertz.
Everybody sort of
slid
stopped.
in. And it'll just be a throw-in.
It's one of those ones where you just sort of walk away quickly from the referee. Oh, we've got 2 balls on the pitch. It's not pinball, boys. Ball boy's going to need to have a talking to.
Oh yeah. I don't know if they give cautions to the ball boy.
Listen, well-trained ball boys will know there is a time to do that. It's normally later in the contest when your team is winning. Not encouraging that, of course, James.
Absolutely not. Dick dumps this forward, ends up with Indy 11. And again, both sides still trying to find themselves as we are less than 10 minutes remaining in this first half.
It's all been a little sluggish from Pittsburgh. We saw the one moment earlier when they moved it around quickly and created the chance for Goldthorpe, but since then it's just been a bit static. Indy's quite happy to let you knock it around. That's better.
Don't want to find this guy. Goldthorpe right at Dick as he was trying to tuck it in that near post. Also could tell Goldthorpe was right in that challenge. Anything more of a shove and he's going down.
It took him a while to break into the 11th this season. Elliot Goldthorpe didn't start the first 5 games, but now 5 of the last 6.
Now Lindley gliding in possession. Mitrano fires in a cross. Campazano just gets his hand to it. And there was a collision near the 6-yard box as Lasse Kelp is down. But it's been some tense moments for Campazano with the ball in the air today.
He doesn't look particularly confident. That one should have been grabbed.
And it was Rendon who bulldozed Lasse Kelp after Campazano got a touch to it. And that's Indianapolis just putting the ball into dangerous areas, and they're going to continue to force Campazano to make good decisions and execute. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the grassroots to the pros, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. 39th minute as we march towards halftime. No score between Pittsburgh and Indianapolis. Two sides that have history. Indy 11 looking for a 6th match straight to stay unbeaten, as they have 4 wins, no losses, and 1 draw in their last 5. And Pittsburgh trying to make it 3 straight wins in league play. With the way this match has gone, we talked about an early goal being a big key. A goal at any time, with the way that these teams defend, could be huge.
Yeah, Indy certainly coming in here just to try and hold on as long as they can. Mentioned a busy week with the game on Wednesday as well. We'll see if that affects when Sean McCauley goes to the bench.
Lasse Kelp nods this in the 18. Flick forward. Big challenge there. And piece of the ball. Looked like it was Danny Griffin who got a piece of it. And have to get that right. Griffin does.
Sanvi was off to the races. I thought it was a foul initial look. Referee had a better view than I did, that's for sure.
So Paco Craig into Mikel Rashid, the Rockville, Maryland native. Mert's initial header is with Goldthorpe. Dumps it forward. Craig is there, and with Albert Dequa looming, just lets it roll out for Pittsburgh throw. We've seen the Riverhounds a couple of times with long throws towards the 18. Have a feeling they might do the same here. See if they can get in there.
Bringing the big boys forward.
See if they can get in their Czechia bag.
Yeah, some presence at the front post here. That's where it's going. Oops.
Takes a bounce in the area. Mert just keeps it alive. Dequa makes contact, and that'll be a whistle and a foul on Albert Dequa.
They may have called him for offside. It did look like there was a lot of contact. Referee saying Dequa coming back from an offside position. Oh, I know that guy.
The Avengers in the building. Jeremy Renner, who has been here multiple times, spoken really highly of F&B Stadium. This ball popped over the top to Perrin Barnes. Slips this towards Dequa. Albert Dequa trying to usher it along to an arriving all. This has been better from Pittsburgh. Chiza trying to control, does just that. Now Rendon. Almost dispossessed. Kept in. And lifted forward. So a throw in deep in the attacking third for Indy 11. And this is where these long throws, which could kind of be like quasi set pieces for these teams, become important.
I was trying to see if Paco Craig was going to. Here he comes now. Him and Rendon will be the likely targets here. Paco Craig taking up an interesting position. Trying to block Campazano. No, he's going for the flick, didn't get there.
Nodded down and ends up with Campazano. And with the player still down, play will come to a halt.
Well, this is an interesting one because the foot was certainly up there. Toronto certainly acting like he took one in the head. If there was contact, I wonder if the referee was going to point to the spot. He'd said nothing in it, though. Perhaps Metrano was making a meal of it.
As Metrano is still down, played the last 2 seasons with Miami FC and played in 2023 with Las Vegas, the Venezuelan. And he is still taking his time. Obviously, any potential head injury play has to come to a halt as soon as possible.
The referee didn't have a great look at it because of his positioning. You can see it here. He was kind of blocked by the body of the Pittsburgh player. He didn't even go and talk to his assistant referee on that far side, though. Metrano back up, doesn't appear to be bleeding.
So Metrano walking it off, shaking his head, and that's not because he's trying to shake it off,
Yes,
like Taylor Swift says.
Appears to be okay.
45th minute, halftime on the horizon. And this tight duel between Indy 11 and Pittsburgh Riverhounds. James Hadd not here with you, Ross Davenport with me, our fantastic USL Championship crew.
Paddle boat going back in the background. Well, this is such a great backdrop. Have we seen the train yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
That is.
It's always a disappointment if we don't see it. Same in Detroit.
Dequa working hard. Dick will launch this the other way. And that was a little light in midfield. Sousa did shove Edward Chizza. And Chizza, as soon as he felt the contact was going down. Fourth official announcing a minimum of 2 minutes of added time to this first half.
Yeah, it's had a couple of moments. It's more of a chess match with the way these two teams set up. I think perhaps the best chance may come from a set piece. It's a little far out here, but you might as well lob one into the danger area. See what kind of chaos you can cause.
Lindley does just that, right towards the top of the 18, headed down. This shot will rise, always rising from Metrano. Campazano taking his time as both sides potentially going to halftime without a goal. Adjustments that you are expecting from both sides in the second half.
Yeah, I think Pittsburgh's just got to be a little more adventurous in the final third. We mentioned move that ball a little quicker. Get some bodies in that final third. Problem is the Indy packs it in so tight that it's, no matter how many bodies you have to get back there, you're always going to be matched up with them evenly because they have 10 players, 10 outfield players behind the ball almost at all times when it gets into their half.
This ball's turned over, and maybe something for Pittsburgh. Barnes dumps this in. It takes a deflection as it was swerving towards the top of the 6. So last gasp now for the Riverhounds, searching for an opening goal.
And he did a good job of just getting bodies behind the ball. Once they saw they were in danger, hustled back.
Barnes into the area. Masanvi. And that is the first half whistle. So no score between Pittsburgh and Indy 11 after one half of play.
Yeah, I think both coaches will be a little frustrated at how that first half went. Indy had the better chances in the first 45 minutes. Could certainly be leading. But Pittsburgh, with both coaches with work to do during the halftime break here.
Well, if you're at home, don't grimace. We do have another half of play, and Pittsburgh is hoping to find a goal here at home. This has been a tight match between Indy 11 and Pittsburgh Riverhounds. The halftime score, Indy 0, Pittsburgh 0. Our halftime report is up next.
Here in Pittsburgh, strength, pride, and teamwork matter, just like at home.
Genius Exteriors, a top-rated roofing, siding, windows, and doors contractor. Call now and get 50% off roofing materials, plus no payments till 2027. And we're proud to offer an extra 10% military discount. Schedule your free, no-obligation home inspection today. Call 412-528-6526. Home Genius Exteriors, proud sponsor of your Pittsburgh Riverhounds.
In 2025, Pittsburgh proved once again champions live here. The Pittsburgh Riverhounds, USL champions, built on grit, strength, and performance. And when it comes to protecting your home, there's a champion there too. Pella Windows and Doors, one of the most trusted names in windows, built for performance and proud partner of the 2025 champion Pittsburgh Riverhounds. And for fans, get 55% off installation and an additional $500 when you mention the Riverhounds. Pella Windows and Doors, built like champions.
Halftime is presented by 84 Lumber. No score between Pittsburgh and Indianapolis after one half of play. Earlier this week, the Riverhounds hosted their weekly coaches show with head coach Rob Vincent.
Well, hello everyone. We welcome you back to the Pittsburgh Riverhounds Coaches Show. We are coming to you from Mike's Beer Bar here on the North Shore, right across from PNC Park. And we're happy to be joined once again by the head coach of the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Second year at the helm, first year full-time, Rob Vincent. Rob, we're up on a stage, got people hanging out, eating a little bit of steak, drinking a couple beers and sodas, having a good time. How you liking this environment here?
It's very nice, yeah. Yeah, we're doing a little tour of Pittsburgh right now, so I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, we've been all over the place. We've been in Mount Washington, been on the North Shore a couple times. I mean, do you learn a little bit more about the vibe of the city, at least a little bit, as you go through it, even though you've been here for a couple decades almost?
Yeah, but I haven't spent a ton of time in like downtown as well. So it's sometimes you drive past these places and you look in and you see the atmosphere. So it's cool to just kind of get around and see them all up close.
As you move and progress your way through the 2026 season, how would you describe it so far, given that we get a chance to do this once a month?
Yeah, I feel like still probably in a very similar space to where we were last month when we talked. 1-1-1 since our last chat. So again, still kind of feel like we're on the cusp of really kicking on and doing really well, but still also trying to find that consistency of results and performances. But yeah, still really happy with the way the group is progressing and growing and developing. We've had a little break now where the guys could kind of reset their brains a little bit, reset the bodies, get some guys healthy again. And so, yeah, really excited to kind of hit the rest of this month and head into the summer.
You know, we talked about this upcoming break last time we talked at the Bigham Tavern. 15 days without the game. That's a long time. What are you doing personally, just in terms of kind of resetting yourself for a second? And then what else are you doing collectively as a team?
Yes, I think personally, I think it was good to just step away for a couple of days. I think get some time at home, spend some time with wife, my girls. I think that's always important. It is a long season, and I think to be so deep in it for 9, 10, 11 months is it's long and it's hard. So I think to be able to just step away for a few days is important. But also, you're still only just around the corner from that next game as well, and still in a very important part of our season, entering the middle third. So, yeah, it was a good chance for our staff to come together, discuss, the first third of the season, talk through some things we want to improve on in the second third, give the guys some time off as well. They were, like I said, a little bit banged up, a few injuries. A lot of guys had played a lot of minutes. So it was good to give them some time away. I know some of those guys were able to go back home for a few days, take the weight off the feet a little bit. And then, yeah, we got back in training these last 3 days and kind of started to push them again and starting to look forward towards next weekend.
Sometimes the waves are calling your name. Other times, you think the waves are calling your name, but actually, it's the kids.
This summer, get 1,000 bonus points and a chance to win 250,000 bonus points.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
In 2025, Pittsburgh proved once again champions live here. The Pittsburgh Riverhounds, USL champions, built on grit, strength, and performance. And when it comes to protecting your home, there's a champion there too. Pella Windows and Doors, one of the most trusted names in windows, built for performance and proud partner of the 2025 champion Pittsburgh Riverhounds. And for fans, get 55% off installation and an additional $500 when you mention the Riverhounds. Pella Windows and Doors, built like champions.
Welcome back to halftime, presented by 84 Lumber. No score between Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC and Indy 11. And as we talk about scores, we'll first look at the schedule for some of the late matchups and some fun ones. You think about El Paso Locomotive and Phoenix, and Oakland Roots and Miami in the late duel, and then Colorado Switchbacks and Sacramento Republic. Anyone look good to you?
How about I turn my microphone on, James? Switchback Sacramento is always a fun one. Both of them below the playoff line at the moment, not something we're used to seeing, so plenty up for grabs there in that one.
And now as we move right along, another thing to look at with our upcoming schedule. As you mentioned, Oakland Roots, Miami FC, and New Mexico United and Orange County. Some fun ones that are already happening right now. Tampa Bay Rowdies are down to Hartford in the 24th minute. Obviously, Tampa Bay, they have not lost all year. And San Antonio, Lexington in a delay, as well as Detroit City and Jacksonville. But that Tampa Bay score, what are we thinking about that one?
Listen, still a long way to go there. I'm not worried about Loudoun. Lost to Greenville in midweek in the Cup, and sorry, last weekend in the Cup, and then that was midweek, and now Rhode Island 4-1. JJ Williams with a goal and 2 assists for Rhode Island.
Well, now let's roll right along here at halftime with our halftime update with Dan Lucas.
It is halftime in the USL Championship. We'll get you back out to your match shortly. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio with a look at some of the headlines. The championship is grabbing hold of the Prince Tires USL Cup. 2 clubs clinched their respective groups in round 3. The Tampa Bay Rowdies clinched Group 7 with a 2-0 win at Sporting Jacks, while Colorado Springs Switchbacks won a critical Group 2 match 2-1 over El Paso Locomotive. While those 2 clubs are now in the knockout stage, Charleston Battery and Sacramento Republic are both on the quarterfinal doorstep. The Battery got the extra point in a penalty shootout against Pittsburgh Riverhounds in Group 6, and Sac Republic put away Monterey Bay also in penalties in Group 1.
Our blueprint at 84 Lumber started with the simplest of ideas. Hire good people, provide excellent service, add value. From that foundation, we created our structure and shaped an industry. We built projects, homes, dreams, neighborhoods. We build careers, lives, futures. We build success. 84 Lumber.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Stop searching. Start a video visit with an AHN expert anytime, any day. At AHN, we see you.
The rookie E-drafts in and secure a title for Pittsburgh. 26 years! Pittsburgh Riverhounds, 2025 USL Championship winners!
Our favorite Avengers. I want to welcome you back here to FNB Stadium. Jeremy Renner, a.k.a. Hawkeye, is watching out. And Ross, I want to know, who is your favorite Avenger?
I'm going to say it has to be Loki. Played by a British guy, a little dark, got his own spin-off.
Okay.
It was a bit of a silly head thing, but other than that, Loki for sure.
Iron Man is my favorite, but there has been no goals up to this point, and so Hawkeye hasn't been able to see very much up to this point throughout this match. But in the 7th minute, we see this initial ball, and Campuzano has to make a save.
Yeah, Indy had probably the two best quality chances in this first half. This one did look like it was going to be much of a chance, but Campuzano had to scamper over. Michael Craig getting good power on that header despite going backwards.
A little bit later, it was Indy 11 who was on the hunt. Rendon was kind of lifting this ball towards Blake. He put a good strike on it, just a little too high.
Just sort of leaned back slightly, and that was enough to sky it over Nico Campuzano's bar.
And for Pittsburgh, they didn't have very many chances, but this was probably their best one.
Yeah, keep an eye here in the channel. Goldthorpe probably had the two best half chances for Pittsburgh, but scuffed that attempt. And didn't really have to do anything spectacular in that first 45 minutes.
Those were your halftime highlights presented by Corona. Now it's time for our halftime stats presented by Restano Heating and Cooling. As you can see, Indy 11 with much less possession than Pittsburgh. That was to be expected for the head coach, Rob Vincent, but Pittsburgh just wasn't able to do a lot with the possession that they had.
Yeah, no, the battle was in the middle of the pitch for most of the first half. XG both under .35 for each team. We'll see what adjustments Sean McCauley and Rob Vincent make at the break here. Mentioned, keep in mind, Indy with a midweek game this week, so we'll see how long it takes Sean McCauley to go to the bench. Does he save some of his legs for that midweek battle with Brooklyn?
Pittsburgh here at home. They're trying to make it 3 straight wins in league play. And for Indy 11, they are unbeaten in their last 5 in all competitions. So something has to give. And Pittsburgh really would love to get 3 points at home. This is a tough side in Indy 11. Ross, you mentioned their struggles against them recently in league play. Nabil Ben Salah blows his whistle, and we begin half number 2 between Indy 11 and Pittsburgh Riverhounds in the Eastern Conference. James Hadnot here with you, Ross Davenport with me. Thank you so much for joining us this Saturday evening. Both sides, 5 wins coming into today. 4 teams in the East, all on 5 wins. And immediately, Elliot Goldthorpe finds himself on the ball. Perrin Barnes, Robbie Mertz. Now Goldthorpe decides to shoot. Eric Dick ranging to his right, goes down for it. And it was comfortable for Eric Dick in the end.
Yeah, I was waiting for some Riverhounds players to start flooding into the final third. It's just all been a little bit static. Players getting the ball with flat feet. Need to get some guys moving around. We saw the 1-2s that created a couple of early chances for Pittsburgh. It's always funny how teams just sometimes have trouble with other teams. This is how it's been over the last few years for Pittsburgh. Had terrible trouble with Indy 11.
Did have good success the last time Indy came here to F&B Stadium. It was Danny Griffin and Sean Subert who scored for the Riverhounds. James Musa had the lone goal for Indy 11. And Pittsburgh hoping for a similar success.
I mentioned the only win for Pittsburgh in the last 7 meetings. 3 draws, 3 losses for the Riverhounds.
Mertz does keep this in play. Comes central to Danny Griffin. Ball returns to Mertz. Good weight towards Goldthorpe, but a whistle and possession will move to Indy 11.
I think Goldthorpe's expression tells the story there. I thought he was a little hard done, but he said he fouled me. He went off him anyway. Would have been a goal kick. That would have probably been the fair result.
We talked about Indy 11 and their success against Pittsburgh, but recently they have wins over Rhode Island, Lexington. Also had the 2-0 victory in the USL Cup. As you see Rob Vincent looking on. Won the championship last year after Bob Lilly set the foundation for this team over so many years. Obviously, this is the second oldest team in USL Championship. First took the field back in 1999. That was a long time coming. This ball comes in. It's flicked along and high.
Really missing Sam Bassett tonight. Just looked a little stale in that final third.
O'Brien got the header there.
So after the championship, they got rid of half the team, basically. Only retained 12, 14 new players. Mentioned the injuries at the back to Vactor and Edrak. Looked pretty solid defensively tonight. I mean, you've had a couple of those good chances in the first half, but overall relatively limited.
Barnes wins this. Goldthorpe can't control. And now Blake is held up, and that's a foul. But you mentioned no Sam Bassett tonight for Pittsburgh. Picked up a injury in training throughout the week. And we asked Coach Vincent about Bassett prior to knowing that he would have that injury. And he talked about his ability to create for himself and create for others. Once he can pick the ball up in the midfield, he can drive out of defense. And so when you don't have that quality, sometimes things can get a little stale.
And they've been playing more of like a 4-1-3-2 with him playing alongside Dikwa. Charles Law really hasn't done much tonight, sort of in that false 9 role.
Campazano better in the air. That was a confident snag after a couple of crosses tipped off his hands in the first half.
Yeah, Metrano continuing to make headway down that left side. As you see some substitutes getting ready, warming up for the home team.
So throw in for Kelp, Lasse Kelp, his first season with Pittsburgh, the reigning Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year at Maryland last year. Center back by trade, but playing more as a left back at times this season. Chiesa is fouled. And a free kick coming for Indy 11. Taken quickly by Blake as the point of attack switches towards Metrano. Pulls this back. Lindley returns to Metrano. Rashid. Lindley.
It's better from Indy. The first real spell of possession we've seen from them in quite a while in this Pittsburgh half. What can they do with it?
Neidlinger. I have not said his name very much at all today. And a whiff on the cross, but possession still with Indianapolis. Slipped in. Chiesa back to Blake. This is much better from Indy 11. Mitrano lifts us into the area, punched away by Campazano. Just had to get something on it as it stood up forever, and then Dikwa, a little shove, and it'll be a free kick.
A bit of frustration there coming out with a good foul. Slows down the momentum.
Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. 52nd minutes, a free kick for Indianapolis. You mentioned a good spell of possession as they try to impose their will on Pittsburgh here to start this second half. Lindley out wide to Masanvi. Loic Masanvi still trudging forward. Was trying to work through 3 players. Now Mertz just sends it away, only as far as Lindley. Longtime member of Indy 11. One of the veterans. Now Rendon. Cannot work around Kelp. Big clearance there for Lasse Kelp. Albert Dikwa on his horse. Paco Craig trying to shield him off and does enough as the ball will roll to Eric Dick.
That was great defensive work there by Lasse Kelp. He had the big man all over him, Bruno Rendon. Kelp got his body between him and the ball, cleared it away.
And that's where Coach Rob Vincent likes to have him in these type of positions because of his center back traits. And right there again, just staying step for step with Rendon, not giving an inch. And you see he's very comfortable defending.
Yeah, Rendon, we saw him do a couple of things in the first 15 to 20 minutes, but been very quiet since then.
When you have that versatility as a coach, you like that you can put players in different places and switch things up, especially when things aren't going the way you hope. And then when players execute, take advantage of their opportunities, that's how you get on a bit of a run that Pittsburgh has up to this point. Their last match was a 0-0 draw versus Charleston, also in USL Cup play. Had the 1-1 draw versus Charlotte Independence. And so results have been aplenty for Pittsburgh recently after losses in the Open Cup to New York Red Bulls and in league play to Birmingham Legion. All those things are in the rearview mirror. Pittsburgh trying to stack results, especially at home. Goldthorpe tries to pick this up at midfield. Can't control it. This looked to potentially be trouble. Lindley. Rendon. Now Neidlinger. And then the foul will be given as Rendon is still down. And this, a set piece in a dangerous spot now.
Yeah, Rendon just got his right foot swept out from under him. Referee perhaps didn't see it initially. Maybe perhaps got some help from the assistant referee on this near side.
So Rendon taking his time to get back up and get to his feet. The talisman for Indy 11. 8 goals in all competitions. Coach McCauley, who's been working the sidelines this entire match. Can Lindley provide some excellent service here for Indy 11? All towards the top of the 18, and that was snuffed out very quickly by Max Vera.
That's a waste from there. Getting that ball in, whip it in with some pace. Make somebody make a decision. Instead, just giving it away. We mentioned Indy having to cope without Aiden Quinn tonight. He leads them in chances created with 27 from the left back spot. Rendon coming in tonight, 10 behind him. Tells you what a big loss he is. That's perhaps why coming in here and perhaps just snatching a point would be huge. Ooh.
Foul is given. And the yellow card is shown as well to Paco Craig as Dikwa was ready to get rolling, and he was fouled from behind.
Dikwa might have made a bit of a meal of that. Paco Craig saying the same thing. Take another look at it here from this great angle. Mertz with the little flick. And it clashed legs, more of a coming together than anything. Craig perhaps a little hard done by there, especially with the card that came at the end of it. See if Pittsburgh can do a little better job with the set piece than Indy just did down the other end.
So Craig with the caution. Cam Lindley, the only other Indy 11 player on a yellow card. Craig, who scored in the last match versus Forward Madison, one of the 2 goals, now must defend this set piece for Pittsburgh. 57th minute, still no score between Indianapolis and Pittsburgh. Looks like going to be 3 in the wall for Indy 11. Elliot Goldthorpe, team of the second round of the U.S. Open Cup at the midfielder position, a 2-time All-American at Hofstra. Lifts this ball in. It's knotted down. Dikwa tried to play it back in. Dick is there at the near post, and it goes out for a corner. So Paco Craig is still down. That was dangerous.
That was a good ball in from Goldthorpe. Created some havoc at that back post, and he did not do a good job of clearing it. Good bit of defending from Jack Blake in the end. Dikwa tried to catch Eric Dick unawares. Got down well though, palmed it away. See if we can see what happened here to Paco. It's his own teammate that got him. Mikhail Rashid.
And so, even though he's being blocked, it was Paco Craig who's now bleeding above his eyebrow, on his forehead, being tended to.
So Sean McCauley there said he will be cheering for Scotland. He's born in England, but represented Scotland as a youth, so we'll be cheering for Scotland. He said if Scotland don't win it, he wants USA to win it. That tells you how he feels about being a Scot.
And now everyone coming out to check on Paco Craig. Obviously above the head. Want to make sure everything is good.
He might need a bit of strapping here. It looks like it's right on his eyebrow. Never a fun place to get a cut.
This is an early moment now. One for both sides to kind of catch their breath. It will be a corner for Pittsburgh.
Just going back to Sean McCauley. Scotland play tonight. Open their World Cup account against Haiti. He'll be hoping this game doesn't go too long. Catch at least the second half of the game.
You mentioned he's rooting for the United States as well. If you got a chance to take a look at those highlights or was able to watch that game yesterday,
man,
probably a big fan of how those things went. As they continue to work on Craig, and we get ready for this Cohen Markets corner kick. If you are Indy right now, and if you're Pittsburgh right now, how do you feel about an hour from this match?
I mean, I think Sean McCauley's thoughts here, we're going to have to go to the bench and see what he can do. It'd be the better team in the second half, I would think. Do have some options on that bench. Noble Okello, he can go forward in a heartbeat. Charlie Sharp back on the bench for the first time in a long time. Started the first couple of games this season. This is the sort of time when you think about those substitutions.
Paco Craig looks like he's been playing in a soccer match. Looks like he's been in a boxing match as he has the Vaseline kind of above the eye to stop the bleeding. And so he's off the pitch right now for this corner. And so this might be a little more difficult as we get ready for the Cohen Markets corner kick for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Paco Craig, a big miss here. His height, as you can see him ready to get back on. He's going to have to wait till after this corner is dealt with.
Sent into the area. It'll take a bounce across the back post. Elliot Goldthorpe does get to this at the corner flag. And his cross is blocked away. You thought Indy 11 might try to break, but they cannot. Looking for the perfect Father's Day plan? Bring Dad to F&B Stadium next Sunday, June 21st, as the Pittsburgh Riveters. And that was a big-time shot there from Masanvi, as it was wide of the mark. And as we continue right along, we'll see this again.
And the long ball just caught Pittsburgh napping a little bit. That ball wasn't far past Nico Campuzano's far post. Flashing by, some hearts racing there in Pittsburgh for a half second.
And once again, looking for the perfect Father's Day plan? Bring Dad to F&B Stadium next Sunday, June 21st, as the Pittsburgh Riveters host Cleveland Forest at 6 p.m. It's Girl Dad Night, celebrating dads, daughters, and a great night of soccer in Pittsburgh. And fans can enjoy $1 Icy Light during the match. Make Father's Day a Riveters Night Sunday, June 21st at 6 p.m. Tickets are available now at riverssc.com/tickets, as Owen McCoy is going to receive a yellow card for that foul.
If you go to that Riveters game, you can meet Nelly, the new mascot for the Riveters. Take a look at this one. McCoy with just clumsy chin. He got the elbow up there.
Ross, when you said Nelly, I'm not going to lie. I thought you meant the artist from St. Louis.
Listen, I'm not saying he's not going to be there too, James.
I mean, I'm saying we got Jeremy Renner here. Nelly might make a trip from the Midwest. Who knows?
Nelly's working pretty cheap these days. If they want him there, they can get him.
Off the free kick, ball's lofted in. Takes a bounce after the header away by Pittsburgh. And now Dikwa will control. Not necessarily too hot in here right now.
Oh, well done, well done.
Around 80 degrees as the sun is starting to set. And Rendon trying to put some pressure on Lassekelp. He'll keep it for Pittsburgh, firing it forward. Dikwa, nice little touch. And Dikwa receives it on the return. Goldthorpe to the end line. Pumps this in, knotted down. Mertz could not steer it. Completely on frame.
Lovely bit of play there, though, from Pittsburgh. It's one of the prettiest bits we've seen all night. Unfortunately, it was Robbie Mertz on the end of it. Not the tallest lad in the world. Did a good job just to get something on it under pressure.
Now Perrin Barnes. This is better from Pittsburgh. You mentioned Indy probably playing a little bit better in the second half. And that's the opposite of what Coach Rob Vincent wanted to see. Wanted his team to beat the aggressors for the entire match. Knew they were going to have a lot of possession. Have not really challenged Eric Dick. And that's difficult in the sense of how well he's played, especially the last time they played with a season high in saves. Advantage given here.
Yeah, Chisholm just gave Robbie Mertz a bit of a nudge from behind.
Souza surveying, nothing there, as again, very stout defensively is Indy 11.
Indy with 62% possession here in the second half. Very unlike them.
Barnes can't keep it in play. And now a little bit of frustration. This 4th of July, celebrate America's 250th anniversary with the Pittsburgh Riverhounds at F&B Stadium as the Hounds take on Brooklyn FC. Stick around after the match for one of the best views in Pittsburgh for the city's historic Independence Day fireworks show. Soccer, fireworks, and the skyline. It's a 4th of July celebration you won't want to miss. Get your tickets now at riverhounds.com/tickets.
Yeah, perhaps Pittsburgh will get to wear their Resolute kits that night. We tried to wear them tonight, but the red and blue hoops were too close to Indy's colors.
Goldthorpe. Dikwa drops this off. Griffin fires too high and wide. Goal kick.
Yeah, the decision making once again. We see the replay here. Keep an eye on the back post. 2 Pittsburgh players just standing there begging for it. Good work by Goldthorpe in the end. Perhaps could have been a little more selfish. Look at the two open players on the right side there. Not seen by that man. Blasted over Danny Griffin.
Danny Griffin holds a team record for 85 straight appearances from 2020 to 2022. So again, just well-known players, longtime members of the squad. Good decision makers, usually. And like I said, that's one he might want back. Who can grab possession here? Rendon does. Foul was given.
Interesting decision.
Rendon felt like he might have been isolated on the outside, but the foul was given. It will be a free kick.
One fan by our microphone letting his feelings be known about the referee's performance. I think he's done just fine tonight. Nabil Ben Salah.
And now a free kick for Indy 11. This match has been touch and go. Lindley into the area. Ball will take a bounce. Rendon there for it, but a whistle, and now Pittsburgh will have possession. And so when you have a choppy match like this, if you're both Pittsburgh and Indianapolis, how do you really take hold of it? It's still, we played 67 minutes. Neither side really has taken hold of the match.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
I'm surprised we haven't seen at least one sub by now. You think if you get 2 or 3 subs at once, can try and chip. One sub's not going to change the game, right? Get 2 or 3 on there. Pittsburgh do have plenty of offensive options on the bench. Trevor Ammon, Brigham Larson, Aldair Flowers, the likes of them. Charlie Sharp, as you mentioned, on the bench for the first time for Indy. I think in order to change the flow of this game, you've got to make a number of changes at once. We'll see. I don't even see anybody looking to come in at all, which is interesting.
Neidlinger quickly into O'Brien. Campazano racing for this. And he'll get to it first with Masanvi also on the hunt.
Obviously, one goal will change the dynamics of this game for the rest of it, just because of the way Indy play, especially if it comes from Pittsburgh. Either way, I think if Indy score, they're just going to continue to sit back, I think. If Pittsburgh score, it's going to force Indy to try and find that equalizer, push some more bodies forward, to expose them potentially for the transition opportunities for Pittsburgh. They've been few and far between tonight, the transition chances. So Indy with a few in the first 15 to 20 minutes, and Pittsburgh made some tweaks. Make sure that didn't happen again. See Rob Vincent.
The thing about it, though, is this match kind of mirrors how Pittsburgh won their championship last year, how Indianapolis has been successful this year. So it was an expectation that was going to be a bit of a rock fight, and it could be a stalemate at times. And that just means that execution has to be at a very high level. Can't make mental mistakes, and we haven't really seen that today from either side, and that is something to be welcomed. As now, Chizza bulldozed as he was working into the 18. There's a foul, and it will be Pittsburgh possession.
Yeah, it's one of those games that you think is going to take a mistake or a moment of brilliance to decide it. Both of these teams, they have the same idea. They go about it very different ways, just being defensively solid. Pittsburgh do it a little more from the midfield, especially now that they're in this back 3/back 5. We just haven't seen the wing backs be as effective as I think Rob Vincent would like them to be. We've seen Perrin Barnes earlier in the game get forward, and this is concerning it, which is down, clutching that left leg.
Okay, won the Supporters Shield with New England back in 2020, 2021. He's a former Riverhound himself, although he hasn't gotten the same boos that Eric Dick has gotten every single time he's touched the ball. More than 80 appearances and 20 goals over his time. And so he's getting his left leg worked out. And as you can see, in a bit of pain as that ankle is being tended to.
And here we go.
And so a couple of substitutions about to come on for Indianapolis. That's Noble Okello, the former Toronto FC man and Atlanta United 2 man, preparing to come on. Chiza is back on his feet, checking the stabilization of that left ankle. He's looking like he's going to be okay.
And I think with the midweek game, he's run hard tonight, which is pressing when needed. Playing very well defensively, dropping back deep. Needed Wednesday. Kello will come on. Certainly more of a midfielder than a center forward. We'll see as you see the other change now. Herson Berry coming on. That's more of the change I would expect in a 0-0 game away from home. Defensive solidity.
So here are the changes. As Chiza comes off, and Mitrano will come off. Noble Okello will come on for Chiza. And Hesron Berry will come on as Paco Craig comes off.
Yeah, Noble Okello has played 5 games, or has started 5 games at center forward this season. So certainly been playing a little more further forward than we're used to seeing him. Just the 1 goal on the season against Hartford back in March.
So Mitrano was going to come off, but because of the injury to Chiza, you mentioned, Okello will come on for Chiza, and Hesron Berry comes on for Paco Craig. Mitrano still on, and now Perrin Barnes to Robbie Mertz.
Yeah, obviously Paco Craig took that head knock about 10 minutes ago.
Goldthorpe in the channel, and that will be a corner. So maybe a set piece is the difference for either side. We saw Eric Dick make a lot of saves for Indy 11, and then a set piece, the difference versus Rhode Island. And now another Cohen Markets corner kick for Pittsburgh as they try to take the lead as we near the 75th minute of action. Goldthorpe sends this in tight, and it'll take a bounce after a header from Griffin. Back out to Goldthorpe, pumps it back in. And Dequa was the intended target. Neidlinger, the youngster, the Indy 11 Academy member, heads that out. So another Cohen Markets corner kick. This time it will be Robbie Mertz to do the honors.
There's a good bit of defending from Neidlinger. Staying in this position.
Mertz sends it in. Headed away. Masanvi takes the touch, but Perrin Barnes is there for coverage. Goldthorpe. Fired in. Dequa was the target. He has both arms out. Feels like he was contacted from behind. But a third corner in less than 3 minutes for Pittsburgh.
Okello is bringing a little bit of height to make up for the loss of Paco Craig on these defensive set pieces. See, we're keeping a close eye on Owen McCoy here on this far post.
A third Cohen Markets corner kick, 75th minute. Zipped in, flicked on, and Eric Dick quickly there for it. Eric Dick showing why he was the finals MVP. He's made so many saves. Now Elliot Goldthorpe wiggling in possession, and the foul is waved off. So Blake coming the other way. Masanvi. Neidlinger has some grass to play with, but goes out wide to Masanvi. Well, again, a lively crowd here at F&B Stadium. They have been heard loud and clear, especially when they're not happy with a decision.
Or just Eric Dick touching the ball in general. That was a big touch he just had a minute ago. Monster save at that near post. I'm not sure how much he knew about it. He's in the right position, though. It's the goalkeeper. It's 90% of the task, being in the right spot.
There is a foul.
We have a substitution for the Hounds.
So substitution for Pittsburgh. Trevor Ammon will come on for Elliot Goldthorpe. It was a tough go of it for Goldthorpe. He did have the shot in the first half. That was saved by Eric Dick. And now it's Ammon's turn to try to make a difference for Pittsburgh. And this substitution is presented by Hitachi Energy.
I don't think Elliot Goldthorpe particularly happy about that substitution. So you see Trevor Ammon go alongside Dikwa up top. You see Robbie Mertz push a little further forward now. Pittsburgh try to get these 3 points.
This is Vera. Turns it over. So Masanvi will race for this. Kelp shields him off and will keep possession for himself. No whistle, so Masanvi is fouled from behind. And now a free kick coming as Charles All can't believe it.
Let's take another look at this here. It looked like All got the ball. May have caught Masanvi's leg on the follow through. Masanvi went down very easily. I think that's what All is saying.
Just a heady play for Masanvi. Now Indy 11, who the last time they were in this position tried to lay this off at the top of the 18. This time Lindley whips it in. Dikwa, header away. Neidlinger back. Rendon, a header towards the top of the 6, but nobody there to latch onto it for Indy 11.
Yeah, you have Masanvi behind him, wide open. If he just flicked it backwards instead of knocking it back across, it would have been a superb pass. I'm not sure if he knew Masanvi was in as much space as he was. Half chance gone, though.
79th minute. No score still between Pittsburgh and Indianapolis. This has been a real defensive showing. Neither side has had too many clear-cut chances. Dikwa gets a chest to this. Now All. Albert Dikwa. It was Barnes centrally who tried to get it back to Dikwa. Now All. Working on Masanvi. Now Kelp into the area. And Ammon over the crossbar. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XMFC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XMFC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
Always a good chat with Mike Watts and Devon Kerr. Both of them used to work with Tyler Terrence, who's doing his first ever World Cup game tomorrow. You can check him out. Former USL commentator.
Very big deal. One of the biggest dreams of Tyler's life, getting a chance to do the World Cup.
He'll be doing Sweden, Tunisia. A late game tomorrow. Oops.
Ammon sees this bounce off his chest and pass Dick, but out of play. eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now.
And just one shot on target between the two teams in the second half so far, and that came back in the first minute. That Elliot Goldthorpe effort from just outside the box.
So just less than 6,000 here, taking in this matchup between Pittsburgh and Indy 11 here at F&B Stadium. 5th most this regular season. And they would love to see a late goal from their Riverhounds. Again, both of these teams sitting on 5 wins, trying to break into the top 4 in the Eastern Conference. Alejandro Metrano and you can see he's laboring a lot as he's cramping right now. And he's waving his head. And there's a point to the sideline. He might need a substitution. He was going to potentially come out on the last set of changes, but with Chiza having more of an injury, it was switched. But Metrano, he looks like he needs a sub and won't be able to continue, as Rob Vincent having a quick conversation with his winger, Charles All in his second season. And Coach Vincent, his first full season at the helm. We asked him last year just about taking over after the foundation that was set from Lily. And he was just so happy to have this opportunity and has really taken full advantage of it.
Substitution for Indy. Checking out number 29, Alejandro Metrano.
Metrano hasn't played a ton over the last couple of months. Obviously came off the bench in that cup game last weekend for Aidan Quinn, played about 55 minutes, but hasn't gone this far in quite a while since the Cup, US Open Cup back in late March. And here's the substitution to get him off the pitch.
So Muhammad Omar from Toronto, Ontario, the Somalian national, made 8 caps with the Somalian national team, has come on for Metrano, as Metrano still getting worked out on the sideline and really dealing with those cramps. 83rd minute. Pittsburgh and Indy 11. Barnes, big ball forward. And Hesron Berry dumps this into the river. And that gets a loud hail from the fans. Now this ball lofted into the area. It's Dikwa. That's the target man. Just couldn't keep it on frame.
And Mertz looking to cut in from that right side. Floated it in. Dikwa was there, just not quite tall enough to get the front of his forehead on that and redirect it on goal.
Albert Dikwa, everyone knows about his prowess. Former player of the year in USL Championship, Golden Boot winner, 20 goals back in 2023. And he is beloved by these Riverhounds fans. Always signing autographs after matches, and he takes this time, doesn't rush the fans. And when you show love, that love is shown back. So this is Mertz. Fires toward the outside. Barnes. Griffin. Now turns to Sousa, tries to send it in. All was trying to control it. Ball's a little heavy. Masanvi giving chase. Kelp with a smooth little header. And he's been very comfortable on the ball. Loops it forward. Dikwa. 2 goal contributions last league match versus Miami, but cannot keep possession here on the touchline.
That's an interesting decision from the assistant referee. Referee was a lot closer. As a referee, you got to make that decision yourself instead of looking a good 50 yards downfield or 40 yards at least.
The USL Championship and League One on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. More contacts, more frustration from Pittsburgh as Lindley is down.
That's a Pella Crowd save, earning you a mini soccer ball. Pella windows and doors, keeping the view clear.
So as Lindley is back up, you mentioned it, Indy would love to come on the road and just earn a point against the champs. Pittsburgh was hoping to take all 3 points here at home, and there's still time for that.
Yeah, they've certainly got some winnable matches coming up, Pittsburgh. Do go to Hartford next weekend and then that week off, and then home against Brooklyn, home against Loudoun, at Sporting Jacks. Certainly a chance there to put some points in the bank.
Barry does not have a clean clearance, And this is all, but you see all the red shirts getting behind the ball quickly. Dikwa was there, but the entry was just a bit in front of him.
That was the sort of run and delivery we've been begging for tonight. An incisive pass, an incisive run, just not quite good enough. Sort of been the story tonight. Everything just not quite good enough for either side. Offensively, that is. Fourth official getting involved.
As Kelp trying to say that he felt like it was Pittsburgh possession. But again, the dark arts are also a part of the match.
Fourth official did a good job there to get in between them.
Long throw from Neidlinger. And then O'Brien, a little bit of an elbow out. So that is given as a foul. 87th minute. Can Pittsburgh string a couple passes together? That is going to be the key here late. Kelp into Dikwa. Great hold up from Albert Dikwa. All. Griffin. Mertz. This is Victor Souza. Kelp trying to take his space, turns it over. Masanvi has pace, and he is racing into open field. Masanvi tries to switch the point of attack. Blake does well to get to it. Now O'Brien. Rendon's shot takes a deflection, and something out of nothing for Indy. They earn themselves a corner.
Yeah, Masanvi running out of gas there on that run. Just sort of hoofed it across. Great job by Jack Blake to keep it in play and earn his team a corner.
'89th minute. Indy 11 with a corner. They scored late on a set piece to take a 1-0 win versus Rhode Island. Outswinging ball here. And a foul in the box means that Pittsburgh will have possession.
Disappointing there from Indy. Let's say Pittsburgh, they want to take their time, but they also don't want to take their time. They want these 3 points. 1 point be a disappointing performance here from the home team.
The second half has moved rather quickly, and so expectation for a small amount of added time. And so time running out for Pittsburgh if they want all 3 points here at home. Souza. Espen Berry coming up to make a challenge. That's a foul. So a free kick for Pittsburgh in the 90th minute.
Never understood why players don't just kick the ball at the opposing player who stands 2 feet in front of it. It's an automatic yellow card. You can't do it once they start backing up, but when he stands there, just hit it at him.
Ball played to Vera. Now he sends it in. Dick sees it the entire way, and that's not nice.
Eric Dick gave him a little stare down there. A needless challenge from McCoy.
So the fourth official announcing a minimum of 5 minutes of added time in this second half. So still time for either side to break through. We mentioned at the onset that this was going to be a good battle of 2 good goalkeepers. Campuzano last year led the league in saves. Eric Dick, the reigning finals MVP in USL. And neither side, neither goalkeeper have allowed a goal.
Yeah, both had to make 1 quality save in each half. Eric Dick that one at the near post. Campuzano that one early from the Paco Craig header, Indy with only 2 shots on target. They haven't made Campazano do a whole lot. Pittsburgh with 5 shots. Dick comfortably saving 4 of those.
Now Perrin Barnes flings this into the area. Quickly comes out to Charles All. Barnes whips this in. This is controlled. Kelp right through, and it's in! Lassa Kelp, the breakthrough Pittsburgh was looking for. Riverhounds 1, Indy 11-0.
He's probably been the man of the match defensively for Indy. Steps up here, he was hanging around from the long throw. It wasn't well cleared. Kelp with a lovely first touch. Just put it on target with some pace. And the rookie, as Indy falter again late in another contest. Eric Dick has to do better there. Almost went right through him. Take another look at it here from the sound. Keep an eye on Eric Dick. Oh, right through his legs, I think. He's allowed a couple of sloppy goals over these last few games. Has got away with it. In the cup especially. Doesn't get away with it here tonight.
That goal presented by Cohen Markets for Lassa Kelp. Coach talked about his versatility. He doesn't always look like a center back because he has the ability to score, and he controlled that so well in the area, found a yard of space, took the shot, and as you said, 5-hole Eric Dick. And Pittsburgh has found the goal they were looking for at home. Still time, however, for Indy 11. This is Masanvi. He lofts this in. It will fly out.
As you mentioned, Kelp certainly didn't look like a defender, twisting and turning in that penalty box. Firing in on target. And Eric Dick, we mentioned in that cup game against Fort Wayne that I did, he allowed a couple of sloppy goals. Got the 2 points in the penalty shootout win, but not going to get any points here on the road, it looks like.
So a change will be made. Victor Souza will come off. Junior Etu will come on to his 4th season with Pittsburgh. He was a part of the 2025 championship team. Knows a thing or two about keeping a clean sheet, and that's what Pittsburgh needs now if they want all 3 points. This would be a huge 3 points with so many teams sitting on 5 wins coming into today. Lou City with 6 wins. Tampa Bay with 8 coming into today. Now Dikwa wide of the mark. This is Griffin. Dikwa brought down. That'll be a yellow card on Neidlinger.
Yellow card against Indy 11. Number 17, Logan Neidlinger.
So Neidlinger picks up the yellow card. Time dwindling down, and the result in hand for Pittsburgh, barring something miraculous from Indy 11. Mertz towards the corner to Dikwa. Another yellow card is shown. And so the whistle was blown. It looked like it was given to Albert Dikwa. The fans think that the match is over, but that was just a whistle for the yellow. Bouncing ball, Masanvi doesn't get to it. Still free. And there is the final whistle. There is the hero, Lasse Kelp, in his first season with Pittsburgh. He finds his first goal in regular season play. Nico Campazano keeps a clean sheet, and that is now 4 clean sheets in their last 5 matches. This is the Pittsburgh that everyone knows and loves, and they have that clean sheet presented by Pella Windows and Doors.
Did what they needed to do. We said this game might come down to a mistake or a moment of brilliance. It ended up being both. Lasse Kelp with the twist and turn right through the wickets of Eric Dick. Another late game meltdown for Indy 11. Continue to drop points in that fashion.
Now it's time for tonight's man of the match. Who you expect? Lasse Kelp is tonight's man of the match, which is presented by Modelo. He scores the goal in added time. It was a late goal that tied things up. Ellie Goldthorpe, and the last time these two teams met, 1-1. It was Lasse Kelp with the goal to take the win here at home. Final thoughts?
Yeah, Kelp, 4 clearances tonight, 2 interceptions, won 10 of his 15 duels, 7 of 11 aerial duels, was great defensively, and then popped up on the offensive end when needed to. Pittsburgh continue to play well at home as expected. Victory
Sweet in the Steel City for Pittsburgh Riverhounds. The final, Pittsburgh Riverhounds 1, Indy 11 0. We'll take a break, come back to wrap things up from F&B Stadium.
At FNB, we rewrote the rules of banking and made getting everything you need a whole lot easier. Experience the one-of-a-kind eStore Common app. Checking, savings, loans, credit cards. One application, done in minutes. No hoops, no hassles, no surprises. Just one common app for more than 50 business and consumer products.
Can your bank do that? Didn't think so.
Welcome to FNB. Let's get started.
Here in Pittsburgh, strength, pride, and teamwork matter, just like at Home Genius Exteriors, a top-rated roofing, siding, windows, and doors contractor. Call now and get 50% off roofing materials, plus no payments till 2027, and we're proud to offer an extra 10% military discount. Schedule your free, no-obligation home inspection today. Call 412-528-6526. Home Genius Exteriors, proud sponsor of your Pittsburgh Riverhounds.
Edge of the area, Walty into the middle, I'm on! 3-0! It's as simple as that! In and an early chance is finished by Albert Pittsburgh has not seen a night like this!
Welcome back to F&B Stadium. The man of the hour right there, Lasse Kelp, had the late goal to give Pittsburgh the win. And now it's time to wrap things up. Tonight's highlights, full-time highlights, are presented by Corona. And this was one in which there were a lot of defensive plays. And this was an important one early on. Tonight's save of the match, which is presented by Edgar Steiner and Associates, necessary for Nico Campazano.
Yeah, Paco Craig, forcing the save out of Nico Campazano. The good one had to scamper across to his left side to keep that one out.
It was Indy 11 that had a lot of early opportunities. This was the best one for Pittsburgh in the 25th minute as Elliot Goldthorpe would get a chance to shoot, and Eric Dick had to make a save.
Yeah, the first time chance was always going to be difficult. Ball coming across his body. Didn't quite get enough power on that to really trouble Eric Dick.
And then tonight's play of the game is brought to you by Epic Insurance. Lasse Kelp, the man, the myth, the legend this evening.
We get tonight and then just found a bit of soft space in the box. Right through the wickets of Eric Dick at his near post. Nice little shoulder drop. Just got enough on his left foot, which is his favorite foot. Enough power in it to find the back of the net. The big 3 points for Pittsburgh against a very, very stubborn Indy 11 side.
Here are your full-time stats presented by Restano Heating and Cooling. 13 shots, 6 on target. Indy 11's goalkeeper Eric Dick was playing well for a lot of this match, but gives up the goal, and Lassa Kelp took advantage, and that possession eventually taken advantage of by Pittsburgh.
Yeah, the good thing for Indy is they'll be able to get back at it this midweek against Brooklyn, try and get this taste out of their mouths from a tough game on the road. They played well, just not well enough in the final third to really trouble Pittsburgh.
Well, Pittsburgh now on 19 points after taking all 3 points away from Indy 11. The final score, Pittsburgh 1, Indy 11 0. And Pittsburgh will play their next match versus Hartford, another tough test on the horizon. With Ross Davenport and my fantastic USL Championship crew, my name is James Hadnot saying so long from the Steel City, and have a blessed evening.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.